It starts with a sound, plink. One drop of water falling from the kitchen tap, landing in an empty sink. Then a second later, another one, plink. I lived with that sound for about a month before I actually stopped and looked at it. And my honest first thought was the same one you are probably having right now. It is a drop of water. It is basically nothing. That thought is the whole trick. That is exactly why a dripping tap is one of the quietly most expensive things you can own. Not because a drop is big, because your brain cannot hold two things in its head at the same time, how small a single drop is and how large a year is. So let me show you both of them. First, the drop. If you slide a measuring cup under a dripping tap and actually catch it, one drip comes out to about 1/4 of a milliliter. To feel how tiny that is, it takes roughly 60 of these drips just to fill a single teaspoon. You could hold your hand under it for a full minute and barely notice you were wet. So your intuition is completely right. One drip is nothing. Now the other number, the one your intuition has no feeling for whatsoever. How many seconds are there in a year? Not thousands, not hundreds of thousands. There are about 31 million seconds in a year. 31 million. That one number is the reason your salary quietly vanishes, the reason a small habit slowly becomes your whole personality, and the reason 1/4 of a milliliter is about to turn into something genuinely absurd. Because a tap like this drips almost exactly once every second, which means in a single day, it drips around 86,000 times. Take those 86,000 drips, multiply by 1/4 of a milliliter each, and one day of basically nothing already adds up to about 20 liters of water every day, poured straight down the drain while you sleep. Now run it out to the end of the year. 20 liters a day times 365 days, almost 8,000 liters. Let me turn that into a picture, because a number that big stops meaning anything. 8,000 liters is a full bathtub, and this one tap fills an entire bathtub right to the top every single week. Stretch it across the year, and it is enough clean drinking water to keep a human being alive for about 10 years, and not one person drinks a single drop of it. It just falls, one plink at a time, and it is gone. That is the drip you decided was not worth getting out of bed to deal with. I make these because this stuff is hiding in plain sight in my own flat, and if that is your kind of thing, you already know what the subscribe button is for. Now, most people stop here, feel vaguely guilty about the planet, and tighten the tap, but I wanted the actual bill because the money completely changes the story. Here's the honest part. Water itself is cheap. 8,000 liters at what a typical city charges you works out to somewhere around $25 or $30 a year. Annoying. Not life-changing. If that were the end of it, I would tell you to relax. But it matters enormously which tap is dripping. If it is the cold one, fine, call it $30 and move on. But if it is the hot tap, and a slowly dripping hot tap is incredibly common, then you are not just losing the water, you paid to heat it. You ran your boiler, you burned gas or electricity, you lifted all that cold water up to shower temperature, and then you sent it down the drain without ever touching it. Heating 8,000 liters of water takes roughly 350 kilowatt hours of energy. To put that in scale, that is about what your fridge uses in an entire year, except here it is spent on water that no one ever used. At today's prices, a single dripping hot tap quietly costs you well over $100 a year to heat an empty sink. Quick question before the last part, because I am genuinely curious. Go and find the guilty tap in your home right now. Is it the cold one or the hot one? Tell me in the comments. I want to see the split. And here is the part one find beautiful in a slightly annoying way. The drip never changed. It was always 1/4 of a milliliter. It was always correctly, basically nothing. Nothing about a single drop ever got more expensive. The only thing that turned it into 8,000 liters was time. The 31 million seconds you were never counting. And this is the exact same piece of math hiding underneath almost everything that sneaks up on you. It is why the little subscription you forgot to cancel quietly outspends the purchase you agonized over for a week. It is why leaving the house 5 minutes late every single day adds up to a lost week by December. It is why saving money feels completely pointless right up until the moment it isn't. A tiny number multiplied by a huge number of chances equals a number you really should have respected. So, no, you cannot feel 1/4 of a milliliter. You were never supposed to. Your brain is built to notice the drop and to completely ignore the year. The tap does not have that problem. It just keeps a perfect count. One plink times 31 million, and the arithmetic does the rest. So go and check your taps. And the next time you catch yourself thinking something is far too small to bother with, picture the sink. It filled a bathtub, one drop at a time, all week long while you were fast asleep.